And hello and welcome to the Mars Chefs. Tonight we are going to be doing a live preparation of baked salmon with vegetables. So what we would like to do is just to go through a healthy option for anybody who loves fish, loves salmon. This option is exceptional for getting up your fish oils, etc., etc. So I'll take you over and show you the food and how we prepare it. So let me talk you through what we've got here today. So we've got 2 wonderful bits of salmon fillet, already filleted and deboned. We have a variation of vegetables because what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of aluminium foil. We're going to place all the vegetables inside the foil. We're also then going to wrap the total package up with the fish on top, put it in the oven. But before we do that, what I want to do is show you the seasoning. Now, the seasoning, everybody's individual. What I would recommend is try different herbs, different spices, so that you can experiment. It is quite simple. So what we're going to do is we have a pestle and mortar. Simplest and easiest way to put the herbs and everything in is to just get a teaspoon, and I'll show you all my herbs in a second. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put some cloves of garlic into the pestle and mortar. Now, garlic, lovely and fresh. If you bash it down and start mixing it in, it just breaks it down, makes it easier to mix up all of the other ingredients. What I have here is some mixed peppercorn. So I love pepper, so put about a teaspoon of the peppercorn in. The next thing that I'm going to add in is some sea salt. So proper crushed sea salt. You probably only need about half of a teaspoon of that. I'll just put them all over in the back. The next ingredient I will put in is some cumin. Now, I use these little containers to put all my herbs in. Because we cook with herbs all the time, it's actually a lot easier. Now, cumin is an amazing herb, so I put about half a teaspoon of that in as well. Some hot chili flakes. So probably about a quarter of a teaspoon of that. And depending on how spicy you like your food, you just up the chili. Now, I love the aroma and the taste that fenugreek gives to anything. So I use that quite a lot in this little dish. Again, experiment. We have about a teaspoon of this. I also like to put some coriander. And again, this is all down to personal taste. There's no harm in experimenting. Before you actually put it on the fish, mix it all up, give it a little taste, and you'll know whether you like the flavors. I'll put a little bit of ground ginger in just to give it a bit of a kick, a bit of a gingery flavor. And it's probably about a quarter of a teaspoon. And then the final ingredient is some oregano. You can use mixed herbs and just do mixed herbs throughout if that's all you've got, but oregano gives it a nice flavor as well. About half a teaspoon of that. Now, then in your pestle and mortar, just start mashing it all together. And this will break down all of the salt, the pepper, crushes the garlic a little bit more. And then just mix it until it's all mixed. Before we put the final little ingredient in. And this will be used as a rub for the base of the salmon before we put it in the oven. And depending on what you want, you just add different flavors to it. If you want a sort of curry feel, you can add curry powder. It's entirely up to you. There's no harm in trying. So as you can see, nice and mixed together, and the aroma is crazy. It's very, very good. So what we'll then do is some lemon. Squeeze some lemon in, making sure not to drop any of the pips in. Do a final mix. And lemon goes with fish, so you can use lemon juice or fresh lemon. Now I know this recipe and this mixture, so I know it's going to do wonders on the fish. Wow, awesome. Now what I'm going to do is prepare the fish. Now because we're doing two, we'll prepare them both together so they look the same. So you get 2 large bits of aluminium foil. Now, if you've got some potatoes, boil some potatoes for about 10 minutes. I like the baby potatoes with the skin on. Gives a little bit of extra flavor. But just take some potatoes and place them on the bottom of the foil. Depending on the size of your fish, 4 or 5 bits of potato will be enough. But depending on how much vegetables you enjoy, you just keep it going.
Did you pre-cook those at all?
Yes, we did. We pre-cooked those for 10 minutes.
Yep.
So what we then do is we put, let's see, what can we put in? We've got some snow peas and some baby corn. So you just drop them over the potatoes. And again, it really does depend on what vegetables you like. If you don't like peas or you don't like corn, just select other seasonal vegetables, depending on what you can get hold of. You know, there's no right or wrong vegetables to go in with this. Then what we'll do is we'll put some onion. So I've got some red onion and some carrot. So I chop the onion quite big because once it's in the oven cooking, it will all break down anyway. Some onion, red onion, some carrots, and Chef 2 never used to like fish and never used to like mushrooms, and now she does. This is a great dish, so we'll add some mushrooms.
I used to only eat corn and potatoes vegetable-wise and never seafood, and now this is like a treat.
Yep. Some broccoli. We'll put some cut broccoli in there. Always easy to get hold of. I'll put the lemon in there. I need that in a bit. Some capsicum. And whatever color capsicum you want. Awesome. And then some tomatoes or tomatoes, whatever way you want to say it. And when this is all cooked, all of these vegetables will be steamed inside the tin foil or the aluminium foil. What we now do is you get your salmon and you get your herbs. And if you get your salmon, turn it upside down, just get your hands dirty and rub the amazing herbs all over the salmon. Now, I don't necessarily put it on the top of the salmon because I don't eat the skin of the salmon. If you like the skin, a couple of things you can do. You can peel the skin off and you can put it in the oven beside this as it's cooking, and it will crispen up. Put some olive oil, some You can put Dijon mustard, some lemon, and it will crispen up nicely, and you've got a hard bit of skin that you can eat afterwards. Or if you like the skin just in a poached effect, just eat it after this is all cooked. So take the second one and make sure you use all of the amazing spices that you've just made up. Awesome. And just balance it on top. Doesn't have to look pretty at the start. Let me just wash my hands a second. And dry that. Now, final part is get some lemon wedges and squeeze the lemon over the fish and the vegetables, and then just leave the wedges on top. And the same with this one. Generally 2/4 of lemon, or 2/8 of lemon, sorry. So 1/4 in total. Excellent. Make sure you've got no cuts in your hand because it will sting like crazy. And then the final little thing is to drop some water on the top, and this helps with the steaming. Don't drop it on top of the salmon because it will wash all of the herbs off. Just put it down the side over the vegetables. Just about a tablespoon. Now let's get all of these herbs, and then you just wrap it up. It's as simple as that. Wrap it up like a parcel. It's that simple. And when this is in the oven, it will steam inside this little parcel of goodness.
And the water is really important to keep it moist as well.
It stops everything drying out as well. So now that is all that you do. You have those wrapped up. You then place it in a baking tray and you put it in the oven for about 35 to 45 minutes on 200 to 225. Depending on how you like your salmon, if you like it slightly raw, you can, or medium, just take it out a little bit earlier. The most important thing is if you do put potatoes in, potatoes take an absolute age in the oven, so make sure you do parboil. Now what I'm going to do is, here I have a couple in the oven already that I've prepared earlier. I'm going to get them out and open them up and put them on the plate. So here we go, and this is 2 that we prepared earlier. So just lift them up, place them down, and make sure that your safety, if they are a little bit hot, God, you can just smell those herbs. You're trying to get closer because of the herbs.
I'm looking forward to dinner.
Yeah. So now let's see the magic.
And this is a great meal before.
Oh, there we go.
I mean, Christmas Day, Easter Day.
There we go. I wish that we had smell-o-vision, because this is out of this world. And there is 2 lots of poached or baked salmon with vegetables. And that is cooked perfectly. So go enjoy. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe to our channel, and this video will be up on Facebook, and it will stay on YouTube as well. So thank you very much and enjoy.